Now, Kevin, I know people buy investment real estate to make money off of it.
Yes.
Maybe you have it some yourself. And then
Yeah.
when you sell it, there's all these capital gains taxes. And
Yes.
how can people get around those? Can they?
Yeah, you can. So there's a thing called a 1031 exchange where you can, if you have an investment property or a commercial property, you can sell it, and then there's a timeline. You have to identify, within 45 days, you have to identify another property that you're going to move the money into,
Okay.
and then you have 180 days total to close on it. You can never touch the money. The money's got to go to a qualified intermediary. We can go into that later if you
Okay.
ever need to.
Yeah.
But you can do that, and you can defer the taxes on, and you can continue to do that. So, sometimes I have young investors that are buying their first house, and they bought a house for $50,000, and all of a sudden it's worth $100,000, and they've been renting it for 2 years, right? Well, they want to sell it, take the profits, and put down, because maybe they only put down 20,000 or 10,000 on it because it was 50,000, right?
Okay, yeah.
Right. Well, now if they sell it, they can get possibly 60, minus costs and everything like that, and taxes. So maybe it's 40, but $40,000, times 5 is they can buy $200,000 worth of property, right? So a lot of times they'll do that and try to build up their real estate empire that way. But if you do a 1031 exchange instead, now instead of paying taxes and so on and so forth, and having maybe 40,000, now you have all 60,000 left, and now you get to buy a $300,000 property.
And
with
Kevin,
it.
how quickly do you have to do that?
You have to do that. You have to do that within 45.
Within 45 days.
Yeah, 45 days. You
Okay.
have to identify where the money's going to go.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay. And so, but you start multiplying that out. You do that a few times over your lifetime. You're talking millions of dollars of difference in gains. So you want to make sure you're doing a 1031 exchange. Now, where I come into place is that typically I have things what's called DSTs, Delaware Statutory Trusts, which is securitized real estate. Not a lot of advisors have these, but what it is for accredited investors. So someone who's making $200,000 more a year or has $1 million net worth can invest in these. And so I'm looking for people who have already established this real estate empire, right? And have more money than they have time. They're in their 60s or their 70s, and this real estate has been fantastic for them. But when they pass, it's going to be a cluster for their kids, and their kids don't want to take it over. And so I have securitized real estate, which qualifies for a 1031. So now you can sell your properties, you can diversify them out into these DSTs that are across the country, still get your monthly paycheck.
Wow.
And keep on deferring your taxes. And now, instead of managing calls, about toilets, tenants, and trash,
All that fun stuff.
Yeah. You now deal with what tennis, tea times, and I don't know whatever the other two, whatever the tea.
That's what retirement is all about, right?
Yeah. Right. So you get to deal, and you can spend more time with your grandchildren, spend more time traveling, whatever you want to do. Now you get that ability to do that. You're still deferring your taxes on. And the idea is that if after 7 to 10 years and this real estate property comes up for sale again and liquidates, we exchange it out again, and then you get called home, you pass, and your beneficiaries now get the stepped up cost basis, and no one pays taxes on it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and you talked about capital gains,
Yeah.
right? But capital gains is a big portion of the taxes, but you also have things that people forget about is depreciation, recuperation. So if you bought, like you're a doctor, all right, and you bought your practice, and you bought it as a little, 7-8 office building, right? And let's say you bought it for $500,000 30 years ago, and now it's worth $2 million. Well, you've been depreciating that the whole time, and now it's at zero. Well, now the government, when you sell this building, if you don't exchange it out, gets 25% of that depreciation back.
Oh,
all right. So that's a huge thing. So
it's like a double whammy.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. So you're talking about, for higher net worth individuals, you're talking minimally 30%. You start adding state tax in, depending on where your state is. California, it's crazy, but you're talking 30 to 40% taxes on this capital gain with this purchase or the sell that you've made. So your $2 million all of a sudden becomes 1.4 million.
So your strategies are pretty significant, make
Yeah.
a hugely significant difference.
Yeah, it can make a night and day difference for people. And then, that's also, we have things where if you sold a property and you're doing it, a lot of these guys and gals know about 1031 exchanges, but they don't know about securitized real estate, about DSTs. And the benefit for that is if they're in an exchange and it falls through within that 45 days, they can call me up and I've got product that they can put the money into for the time being and complete that exchange and save that $500,000-$600,000. So once again, though, it's a team approach. You need to make sure your real estate attorney knows what's going on, your CPA knows what's going on. I'm a fiduciary, or my company's a fiduciary, so we got to do what's in your best interest.
Right.
So just because you want to save money doesn't mean I'm always going to agree with you, because once again, it's portion control. I don't want to tie up your money for a lot of years if you don't have other assets.
Yeah,
So I'm once again complete holistic financial picture. To when you come, you use me, and
that's great. That's what you need. You need somebody who understands you and where you are and where you want to be. And Kevin, you're the guy to do it.
Yep.
I say.
Yeah.
Walker Wealth Management. You want to check them out. What's your phone number?
440-332-4732.
Great. Thanks a lot for watching.
Thanks.